Madison, Zach, welcome to the skating lesson.
Thank you.
You're about a week out from competition. So what is the stress level at this point? You're wearing some camo pants. You look pretty aggressive today. Yeah.
No, I don't think the stress level is that high. For us, we chose to do Salt Lake City just because it worked for us last year. They weren't particularly strong performances last year, but we really got the feedback to create competitive programs and just get our feet wet very early in the season. We understand we came from a background of being a little bit afraid to compete when you don't feel 100% ready. And along with the change of coaches, we've tried to kind of change our mindset. And we want to show the progression of our programs through the season, and we aren't scared to make a few mistakes, and we think people appreciate seeing the process.
Well, I guess talk about your programs, because you're going bold in the short dance.
Yeah, we're not holding anything back.
Yeah, talk about all the different pieces of music that are in that short dance. Baby Got Back was in there, Push It.
Push It, Can't Touch This.
Tanto Jump On It.
Oh yes, Tanto jumps on it, yeah. He does, he jumps on it.
And of course, we finished with Turn Down For What, which is always, people think we're joking when we tell them that, but it's not a joke.
Yeah. Basically, it's the evolution of dance and hip hop throughout the years, how it started off as blues and evolved into funk, soul, hip hop, street. Now it's got multiple different facets that we're not going to get into because we only have 3 minutes to do a program. But that's what we were based it off of, was the evolution of dance.
It seems like you both really get into it. I saw you selling it a lot. How you can't go halfway with that. So what are the costumes going to be like? What is your mindset? What are you going to listen to before you get on the ice to be able to do that?
Well, I think the mindset is just to have fun with it. The reason we chose it is because we do really love traditional blues. So we knew we wanted to do hip hop, but if we take modern hip hop, we couldn't find a way to just go from a very traditional sexy blues into that hip hop. So that's how we created this evolution idea with Marie. And so we really love to be able to show all the different facets of what we're good at. And the energy, is just like to have fun, to try and pull in every single generation that's watching. And so far it's worked. When we've shown judges, you're always a little shy. Maybe skating can be conservative, but it seems like by putting in the 70s, 80s, and 90s music, the judges really get into it. I mean, I've seen some judges bust in a move to Salt and Pepper, they actually wanted more of Baby Got Back, but we chose to keep it.
Well, it's funny, Baby Got Back, it cuts right as it goes to the good part. Yeah.
I know.
I like to keep everyone on the edge. More.
Yeah. And people, we had a few suggestions to actually put butt in there, but we figure we'll test it out maybe at the end of the season if it's not shocking enough anymore.
Yeah.
But no, it's just fun to dance to that kind of music. I guess we'll be listening to hip hop and funk music before we compete, and the costumes.
Yeah, because costumes, we need to discuss this. You were known for wearing the Daisy Duke, skating with your brother, and then you had that red dress that was just on the edge of too short your first season together, and now you've been giving us the long skirts for the last couple of years. You're some conservative girl. Who are you kidding? What are you going to wear for this?
Are you conservative?
Well, it's not conservative.
I don't want to be bored. If it has to match the program,
Yeah, I mean, for this, we're kind of playing with a costume that transforms along with the music. So it gets more revealing as the piece goes on.
Wait, how does it get more revealing? This is not a professional program.
It's, a little striptease action in the program. So I think the dress will kind of evolve as the season goes as well. It's when you try something that's not as classic as just a leotard with a skirt. There are some bugs to be worked out, so we'll see how it goes in Salt Lake, and sexy and see-through and short and you know, bringing back the old Maddie.
Now, what are you wearing? A black shirt and black pants like usual? Like, what is going on here?
I may have a little bit of transforming to do myself. I might not even be wearing a shirt. I might just decide to go crazy.
I heard you say that yesterday, and then you actually skated shirtless in the rink when the judge was here for a minute. So, yeah.
Did we actually set? Is what I have in my head what we've actually set?
I don't think he's actually seen the fabric for his costume. Like most boys, you know, we take care of that.
Okay.
Just give them something
Where would
to
they tell
wear.
me to wear? Just fill it out
There
as
is
much as
black.
possible.
There is black, but there are other colors as well this year. And the free dance is not just black.
Do you have Zach whipped? Because he like writes odes to you on Instagram. Do you see these? Like, Jenny used to copy and paste every time she would screen cap that Zach would post about how obsessed with you he was.
Well, what's not to be obsessed with? Look at her. She's like, she's a little peach.
I mean, Zach's mom was telling me, you know, she wants you guys to get back together. She was, you know, yeah.
Oh my.
I'm a little afraid of Zach's mom too because she let me know that she likes to go to the shooting range, I learned. So I'm praying that, you know, you skate very well every time so I never have to talk about anything otherwise.
No, you know, I don't think that he's obsessed with me, and I don't think that I have him whipped.
I don't think that there's a person capable of whipping me. It's not, okay. Not like that. I'm unwhippable.
Okay,
Is that better?
Untamable? I don't know.
Something.
Tameable maybe sounds better than whippable.
Yeah.
But
Well,
so
we'll get to that later.
no, I don't. I think maybe that's his way of showing appreciation. But on the ice, no, nobody can tame Zach. He is.
But you don't write them back? Like, you don't write the odes to Zach?
I don't think I write odes to anybody.
I think
except
she
maybe my
Instagrams
dog.
when someone holds a knife to her neck. She's not
Yeah.
one who likes to actually like social media anything.
I struggle with it. I like it. I like to consume social media. I
Yeah.
will go on Instagram and I look at artists and makeup artists and I get a lot of inspiration for dance there. But there's like this thing where when I get to the point where I'm going to post about myself, I don't find that much interesting. So I post about my dog every once in a while, or if we're at competition then it's like something. Otherwise I like to write, but I haven't really ventured into the blogging even though I've talked about it.
Your
Yeah.
brother likes to blog.
You guys need to like
Sorry?
pressure her into
Yeah,
like actually blogging.
I'm good at
You know,
pressure. I can do
email,
this.
Write, text her,
I've
do what you
blogged
gotta do.
for Ice Network before,
That's
and it went
boring.
well. No, but I didn't write about the event that much.
No,
Okay.
she's not
That's
a
the
figure
thing,
skater
like-
blogger.
Like, we want to know the actual
You
things.
want to know the actual things that happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in the locker room, they were saying that.
Okay.
Yeah, not just that. We want to know like what you're doing in your daily life because I want to do yoga with your brother because he's always doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's amazing. I try and do yoga with him, and then I feel like I'm not an athlete. But no, he's very cool.
Is he doing that full time now? I guess is he like a yoga teacher? What
Yes,
is okay?
Yes, he teaches yoga now. He's been doing training since he retired from skating, and he's gone into New York City to train with Dharma Mitra.
Okay.
It's like his guru. He loves him so much, and he doesn't have anything like any particular training schedule, of course, like you have with skating. But I think he trains as much as we do. Like he
I'm
wakes
all
up
day, every
to
day
do
yoga.
yoga. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
Yeah, and he's
falls
always
out.
shirtless doing yoga too. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
he's got a nice body from yoga.
So I want to ask you. You had to deal with the ick factor of skating with your brother for years, and now you just can be uninhibited. So I guess talk about the challenges of skating with your brother, and when you have to do tangos and all of that. I guess be honest about it. The Shibutanis will never tell us this. So
All right. The thing is that maybe the reason people didn't like us together as much as like the Shibatanis is because we didn't have cute factor, we had sex factor, and I don't think either one of us were like that grossed out about it. We like, our family in general is very huggy and touchy, and you know, like we kiss each other on the mouth when we say bye, you know, like we're just
Okay.
we're a very affectionate family. So for us, it was always like we started so young that it was always a separate thing. It's not like if we skated tango together, I was actually thinking the thoughts that maybe people saw. So like there was no ick factor for us, but we got a lot of comments that there was ick factor. And I was never very good at hiding my sexuality and being cute. So so it just didn't work. And at a certain point, like our coaches also didn't see an ick factor, so they'd have us skate to like things like American Woman in a midriff. And so at a certain point, it just stopped working, and we called that quits. And then I got to skate with Zach, and I got to fully embrace my ick factor. And then people liked it, you know? So,
wow. Wait, so you embraced the sex factor or the ick factor? Are you calling me the ick factor?
well, what used to be ick became sex factor, you know? And people were like, wow, what chemistry, you know? So,
okay.
So wait, are you taking full responsibility for the chemistry between you two?
No, for sure, no. It's not like I could skate with a brick wall. It wouldn't have the same effect.
You might be able to.
I think that there's enough of a Zach fandom out there from what I've seen. And certainly our sport is more watched by the ladies. So it's definitely him as well. But
what do we need to know about Zach?
Oh, God. I'm curious about your opinion of what the world needs to know about me.
Yeah.
What do they need to know about Zach?
What do you know about me?
Nothing. So mysterious. I think that maybe the way he appears at competition is very stoic and intimidating, or that he doesn't talk a lot. But here at practice, it's the opposite. So like at competition, I seem like the bubbly, talkative one, and he's in the corner, you know, just looking like dark and mysterious. And then here it's the opposite. And he's like, what's going on? What do you want to do? And I don't know. What do you want to do? Okay. So that's probably what they don't know about him.
So I spent some time with pairs, and in pair teams, you know, there's one person that counts the spins, you know, that pretty much says when you're going up in the lift. Is the same thing in dance? Like, is there a leader to the team?
Okay. I think
I'm sorry, I find this funny. This is
we can
hilarious
each give an
question.
answer. I think that based on size and strength and everything, the man inevitably ends up being the leader. Because if I don't follow him, he'll be fine and I won't. Like, I'm gonna fall. But I think that in dance more than pairs, it's so intertwined and there's such a feeling between the two. We're not talking, we're not cueing lifts, we're not counting spins. It's more about always feeling each other. And so I think the goal is always that he follows me, I follow him. And that's what we get taught all the time. Just because it's a little bit different. They have more of a setup element. So they have to make sure that they're on the timing for that one moment, and we're kind of on the timing all the time. It seems like.
It's a pretty good answer. It's not what I thought you were going to say. Good job.
What did you think I was going to say? I'm the leader, clearly.
Hello, have you met me? I'm Madi Hubbell. I lead. Something like that.
Do you see my camo pants?
I mean, I'm a fighter.
Well, I tried to you know, zoom in away from the pants because Zach is sitting with his like feet spread apart in an interview, and you know, I had to go up. Yes.
Yeah.
Again, can't be tamed apparently.
No.
Yeah.
There is no taming.
So who are the leaders in the other like is Scott leading Tessa? Because I feel like she's got opinions too here. What do we need to know about your training partners?
That's very
How do you
interesting.
feel about our training partner?
Like, what do we need to know about them? You know?
I think that here everybody's really pushed into having equal opinions. Everybody gets their voice at the same time as everybody gets told to shut up sometimes. I think that's what has really worked for Zach and I being here, is that they're very hands-on coaches. They're very very warm and welcoming, but they can also be drill sergeants when they need to be. and that's kind of what we needed. Whereas Pasquale and Angelico were always warm and welcoming, especially Pasquale, like such a creative genius, but sometimes we would get lost in the feelings and we needed somebody to be like, stop talking and go do 12 run-throughs and just stop complaining or stop saying this or finding problems. So we have them to always be telling us exactly what we need to be doing and keeping us focused. And it seems like that with most of the teams. Like, I know nobody likes this answer because they think we're being fake when I say that there is no drama. But I don't think it's because if you left us all alone in a group, of course there would be drama. There always is. It's human nature. But these coaches are particularly hands-on, and they make sure you know that it's not tolerated. And as soon as there's a little bump in the road, you're gonna get put in your place.
So you said Scott, you know, and you said everyone is equal intensity. Now Scott's known for being intense. So is Tessa secretly as intense as Scott is? Because Alyssa Cisney said that she thinks that Meryl and Tessa are as intense as each other, and Tessa just hides it better.
Okay.
I trained with Scott and Tessa when they were with Marina and Igor before that whole drama split thing. And although I didn't train as much with them, like they would train usually at a separate time than me, I got to watch them train. I was on the ice with them quite a fair amount. And Scott's an intense energy, but I don't know that I've ever heard or seen any kind of situation where he's ever explosive. And he's a very...
You can just tell he goes out there to win. When he escapes,
Yeah, I mean, he's out there and he's having a blast. Like, he's very intensely, he wants to be the best he can be, and he's working his butt off, but he's not... I don't think I've ever seen a moment of frustration or anger out of him. It's just nose to the ground.
I guess what I'm asking is she as competitive as he is?
I don't know that I would ever want to mess with Tess, if that answers the question.
Okay.
Like, she's got that, like, hey, I'm beautiful, but I can kill you with like a snap of my fingers kind of energy to her.
And does Meryl secretly also have that? Or is Meryl just
Meryl's
gonna...
got fire.
She's gonna outwork you, or what
definitely
is...
got fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think no matter who you are, almost, if you end up in a situation like they did for so many years, training together and competing so head to head, you end up finding that fire or you lose.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so the reason you see these two always on 1 and 2 is because they both found that fire. So maybe it's different. I haven't trained that much with them. So far this season, I think they're really taking it as an experience of coming back and finding new things about their skating that they love and appreciating it. I know that taking some time away can usually make you open your eyes and realize how lucky you are. So it feels a little intense, but I'm sure that as we get closer and closer to the games and big competitions, and I'm sure that we'll see more competitiveness, more focus, more intensity. But so far they've been really great training mates, and
I've never known any, I mean, training with them, Meryl, Tess, Charlie, Scott, none of them, their fire always came out and, oh, look at that run through, I'm gonna go and bust out my run through like 10 times better. It was never, they never brought any drama to the rink. It was...
Oh no, I'm all about being competitive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about winning, you know? Yeah. But I want to know, you talk about like competitive intensity. This school is very French. You've also dealt with the Russian school of intensity. So I guess compare those two. And like, what phrases and terms do we need to know? Yeah.
oh no.
Like, what Russian things do you hear like in your nightmares? You know, when you...
I think Russian coaching. The biggest difference, I'd say, like, there, I would never mess with Patch, ever. Like, he raises an eyebrow and I'm like, I'm gonna just go hide in the corner for a while because I just ticked him off. Whereas I've never met a Russian I'm afraid of. At the same time, you train with a Russian coach and their intensity level is just very negative. They focus on what you're not doing, what you need to fix. This isn't right. This is the way I told you to do it. And although it's not the case with every single Russian, I sound like Russians are bad. It's not at all what I'm saying. But Patch and Marie have a very positive, analytical way of working. They make you find your own solutions. Like, you've been skating for how many years, you know how to fix it, just fix it. I don't think anything is really in your best interest. like they've got how many teams from how many countries, and everything is very, okay, this is what you as a team need to do, and these are your strengths, and these are your weaknesses, and let's find a way to improve on all that. It sounds like, again, there's one of those cheesy like answers, but it does feel very family based. Like everyone here has unique relationships to each other and to the coaches, but everyone supports each other in run-throughs, everyone supports each other in training, competitions, we compete against each other, we come back, we train. The coaches are just very supportive. It's really the way it comes down to, I think, the biggest difference.
So you're getting more compliments than in the Russian school is what you're saying?
Well, it's just, I think it's coming from like a very logical, neutral place. For us, I know there's some skaters or some people that the Russian technique really works. I mean, you know, I hear from Adam or Ashley about Raf, and he seems pretty hard on them, but both of them are kind of that personality of
I loved it when I was younger.
Fiery and diva and quality, and so for them it works for somebody to push them like that, I think. For me, I'm very sensitive, and when somebody says something mean, I'm gonna cry about it probably.
Sensitive how? Are you watching Lifetime movies? Like what are you secretly, I mean, you're wearing camel pants, but you're...
No, I don't see, maybe people don't see me as sensitive. At competition I feel much more strong and I don't know, I think I just really try and welcome the people that I trust into my life, and so the way I was always taught was like your words mean a lot. And for me, the tough love Russian way of coaching, I really took those words to heart when they would tell me something so bad on Friday and then Monday it was back to normal, and I was like, no, it's not back to normal. Like, I still feel terrible from what you told me. So I don't think it worked for us as a team, and same with him, like he can be super negative, that's his thing, he needs to always be reminded of the positive, so for someone to also be negative, it wasn't the right environment for us. And Marie and Patch, and even Roman, the French way,
Roman's hilarious.
Marie and Patch are much different from Roman, and Marie and Patch are logical and very neutral and just like...
Should we give him a Roman face?
No, don't give him Roman faces. But then there's Roman, who's like so blunt. I mean, he says things that just sound terribly mean. But you know, it's just coming from like, I'm sorry, the way you did that was not just awful, try again. You know, it's just very matter of fact, you know exactly what he's thinking, and you do it again, you fix it, and then he says, yep, that's good, and do it like that. So there's always like a negative met with a positive. So it's actually really fun to work with him like that.
He's hilarious.
But yeah, and for us Russians don't.
This isn't, how do you sit like this? This is not...
So, you've been here over a year now. Do the French Canadians, do the Quebecois still crack you up? Yeah, talk about getting used to like their energy, their attitudes,
well, Madi is fluent in absolutely zero French.
Yeah,
so
I don't really speak any French. I know a few words and I pronounce them terribly. But I don't know, it's funny, like from seeing women in Quebecois, I definitely think in Quebec, speaking Quebecois, there's definitely more attitude, more...
they're feisty.
Independent woman kind of attitude, I feel.
It works for ice dance, yeah.
Yeah, there's something very special. But the accent sometimes is very funny. And,
it's awful, I'm sorry, it's awful.
And sometimes like you hear, I don't know what it is about it. You hear a girl and she's speaking and her voice is very light, she's speaking English with you and you can hear the accent, and then she starts speaking French Canadian, she's mais là, like it goes way down.
They all turn into Shrek as soon as they start speaking Quebecois. It's crazy.
And I don't know why that is. But speaking Quebecois makes you sound like 3 octaves lower. So, I'm not gonna learn.
That's pretty accurate, yeah.
Well, ice dance teams, people love to debate whether or not they're together, and you have a very romantic free dance this season. So would you like us to be debating this all season? You know, how much...
I think no matter what we say, people are going to debate it one way or the other. And
yeah, I think people from our experience, what we've seen online, people write about it no matter who you are, no matter what your relationship is, no matter what we post on our social media, they're going to create.
Well, he does write things on social media that lead people to question.
I know.
Well, I am our biggest fan, but it's...
Apparently.
But I think that no matter who you are, I mean, you look at Scott and Tessa or Meryl and Charlie, teams that...
I never debated if Meryl and Charlie were together.
But if you looked online, there were debates about it.
Well, people online aren't always the smartest. We saw Meryl on Dancing with the Stars. I debated if they were together.
That's true. I debated that as well. But no, I think that's what we're selling, right? Is chemistry and feeling each other and love and the way you can move your body. And I think for the average audience, they don't have that kind of body language inside of themselves unless they have those feelings. That's what makes people attracted to dance or ice dance or figure skating, athletics in general, is our body language, the way we know how to use our body. And so it doesn't matter what we do or what we say or what we skate to. I think people are going to always debate that.
But I think you should I think that you should play this up this season. I think some well thought out Instagram post before nationals, maybe a little hand holding photo with some shadows and a nice filter, and then and then you could use the lyrics.
On Instagram that's sometime this season.
We have a fan, so sweet, that sent me a blanket after my surgery, saying to get well soon and everything. Custom made with all our pictures on them. But the funny thing is that of all the pictures on it, none of them were actually doing a skating move. They were always either the moment after we skated and it looked like we were kissing, our ending pose, or in the kissing, always moments where it looks like we're about to kiss. So people definitely like it. There are a few moments in our free dance this year that maybe we kiss or almost kiss. That's debatable.
I think if you kiss at nationals, it could be worth at least 0.25 in the components.
Yeah, that's true.
For interpretation.
It could be.
I would like there to be Japanese blogs and fan videos debating.
I've seen those talk shows, watching Javi and Mickey and following them through the street. I mean, that's crazy. It's like they're Brangelina or something, but
I would like this to happen for you.
Media work?
I know about Brand Pitt.
Of course you do.
She knows social media. I mean, do you have thoughts on, are you Team Taylor or Team Kimye? Are you as fascinated by Kanye West as the rest of the world?
No, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Kanye.
Kanye was here last weekend, I think it was. I would have given away a free ticket to Kanye. Drake, I'd pay to see. I'd pay what is it? I think it's $300 to get front row free ticket. I'd pay that. But Kanye, Kim, no. Sorry, but no.
Yeah, the only celebrity right now music hip hop celebrity right now that I'm borderline in love with is probably Rihanna.
Oh.
And,
yeah.
I mean, she could just do no wrong. She's my kind of girl, I think.
She's a goddess.
Maybe no.
Rihanna seems a little wild, but do you think she's closetly sensitive too?
I think that probably it's just where she is in life or what she's doing that works for her to open up that side of herself, the wild side. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just attracted to her energy, her openness. Everybody was giving her so much crap about going topless on Instagram. I mean, if she wants to go topless on Instagram, what's the problem?
Does that mean you're going topless on Instagram?
No, never.
Or?
But
she doesn't even post on Instagram.
That was what I was thinking.
That would be a shocking moment. Woo! Hey, Instagram!
And there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please note USFS, they brought it up, not me. I would just like
No, it's never gonna happen.
Okay.
I'm not gonna post topless on Instagram.
Make sure Renee Felton knows that. Okay.
Yes, but you can look up Rihanna if you're interested.
Now, you mentioned, your surgery before, so how is your hip doing? How long do we get to enjoy this dynamic for, Are you thinking beyond the Olympics, I guess,
My hip is totally fine, no problems at all. And our dynamic, for how long are we going to be looking at this? We don't know, honestly. I think part of our journey right now is looking at the next 500 something days until the Olympic Games, and really putting our focus on everything in that. I've always thought that we would go further, and he did as well, and we're just going to have to see how successful we are and at what point in our life we are, how we are financially. It's hard to be here in Canada in training because we aren't able to work, so that makes training more difficult and more financially straining for our families. So it's all under consideration. I mean, I think that we both know how lucky we are to be doing what we love. And I mean, why stop the gravy train?
I mean, so to wrap it up, you mentioned 500 something days. What Olympic swag would you most like to get? Have you thought about an Olympic tattoo? Is there a ring that you want? Is it about the jacket? Like, what are you thinking?
Tattoos, I'm not a huge fan.
I mean, why put a bumper sticker on a Bentley,
Thank you.
Bentley's a piece of crap.
I
Can
like
we differ
Aston
somewhere here?
Martins or something.
Thank you. I'm proud of you.
But no, I don't know. For me, like I do like tattoos on other people. Zach has 5 apparently. Lose track. And I know people who've gotten the Olympic rings and they like it and they don't regret it. But for me, I've always thought about where I would put them, and I kind of don't know where I would want them. I don't know. Like the spot either seems sexual, or it seems too open, or it seems.
I thought
like,
you wanted to be both of things. Isn't that what you look up to Rihanna for? She's open and sexual?
In 30 years or so, they're going to be like very droopy rings. And I don't like that idea. So,
Where were you thinking of putting that?
really anywhere, you get all wrinkly when you get old, and that's not nice. So, for me, I think it's just all the Nike clothes. I mean, that's going to be awesome. The idea that you just like go somewhere, you fly, and you go through processing, and people just like hand you Nike and Ralph Lauren, and you have like your little sticker that says like Madison Hubbell, this is your spot. These are all your clothes. I mean, it's like being a supermodel but better.
How about for you?
I'm gonna get obviously the Olympic ring tattoo. Where, I don't know. How big, I don't know. I do have quite a few open spots in my body that have not been covered up yet, obviously. I love the whole idea of like an Olympic ring. I think that's dope. Although Team Canada seems to be a little bit cooler. Hint, hint, US figure skating. My buddy Mitch has a really, really cool one. So I'm hoping they'll step up their game for that one. But
do you get jealous when you see their Olympic ring? Like Kirsten Warhorse yesterday. Like it was a little subtle. Like she came over to do a live show and like she was wearing like the gold Olympic ring, and I was yeah.
I see Mitch has one that's like it's really thick.
Okay.
And it has like an engraved. Well, no, you get like everyone gets like the gold one that's like Team Canada. And then there's like one from actual like Canadian Federation that Mitch wears. And it's like really thick, it's like silver, it's like stamped with like the leaf and the rings, and like it's really cool. So I'm hoping to get one like that. But yeah, Nike's awesome. No, yeah, for Team USA. No. Nike's awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Nike. I love Nike. Being there, I think it's way cooler than the clothes. Looking forward to actually going.
Look at him getting deep,
Well, we missed the last one by such a short margin, and I think we've kind of had to take a step back and look at ourselves so deeply as to what put us in that position and what kept us from making the team. So I think with all the hard work and effort, don't give me any clothes, just put me on the team and I'd still be really happy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, skating together for so many years and being in the sport for so long with the same dream, it becomes intense.
Yeah.
It's going to be an intense 500 days to making that happen.
So when are you going to win nationals?
When? Well, I think the date is January 21st or
Something like that.
No, that's our goal this season, is to win nationals. I think that, you know, as everybody knows, we have a lot of really strong teams, and 1, 2, 3 is going to be
Close.
a bloodbath this season. But I think that last year we took a big step up, and people were a little bit surprised by it. And of course, there's always that side of figure skating that it's hard to climb the ranks. It's hard to make those tiny little differences and change a judge's mind. But I think we made a lot of steps towards that, and this year we're all kind of going in on an even playing field. That's why we were really excited about going to Skate America and starting to compete against the Shibutanis very early.
How long have you been competing against these Shibutanis for?
Oh, man.
And the same people. I mean,
First year, right?
and Evan Bates. How long have you competed against Evan Bates
My
for?
whole life. I mean, no, I've trained with Evan since I was a kid, since I started ice dance. And I used to stay with his family, and I mean, we have a really long history. And then the Shibutanis came in as Evan left junior, and I was at the top of junior, and the Shibutanis came in and they were like, so little, and oh, it's so cute. And like the first year, they were under us, and then all of a sudden, the second year, they were on top, and we were like, what happened? This was my brother and I. So we've been competing with them for a really long time. I have even longer than Zach. But I think, you know, like that's our generation. That's our group, and we'll probably compete against them until we retire. So we better get better and beat them because we want to be number one.
Well, everyone liked their free dance last year, but you have a
Yes.
pretty special one this year.
Thank you.
I know you have 4 seconds left, but you end with that lift. So I'm thinking there has to be some sort of romantic moment at the end of this. You have to think about your nationals moment, how you want to end it. There needs to be a perfect ending with these last 4 seconds that you're working out.
We'll leave this out there, but judges and certain coaches that we know keep being like, you know, we really want to see this making out, slow dancing moment.
Yes.
So we never know what'll happen. I don't know. We haven't really made our ending yet.
All right. We'll be looking forward to it. Best of luck this season. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.